I'm honored to be here. Thank you guys for having me. My name is Imani Bethel. I am a field application scientist with Illumina. I think this talk will actually help you guys sort of see the importance of building a good foundation and definitely use all of these resources that I'm hearing about. Like I wish some of these programs were around when I was in school. So just a little bit background about me. I am originally from Nassau, Bahamas. I moved to the United States in 2005, right after high school. So it was a great culture shock to come from the Bahamas to move to a little town called Terrell, Texas, which was just a huge adjustment for me, cultural wise. That is where I started off my collegiate career. I then transferred from a junior college, a 2-year junior college, to a 4-year college, Morgan State University, which is in Baltimore, Maryland. And I completed my biology undergraduate studies there. From there, I then moved to Houston, Texas, just because life happened and I just needed somewhere to go. My brother was located in Texas, so I decided to move there, to move here. And during that time, I worked at Quest Diagnostics for a while as just a lab tech. I had an undergraduate degree in biology, so I figured do lab work. I could do lab work like I was doing in school. So why not just earn money doing it at a job, at a company? I did that for about a year and things was working out just fine until I had to abruptly sort of change situations because I'm from the Bahamas. I was working on what was called a what was it? I can't remember. I'm blanking on what it's called right now. A student visa. I had a student visa under the STEM program and was working on getting it extended, but things happened and that didn't work out. So I sort of had to figure out a plan B. And it was either enroll in school again or go back to the Bahamas. So I tried, and luckily or fortunately, I was able to enroll in Texas Southern University, where I completed my master's level degree in biology as well. While attending TSU, I did research in a genetics lab. I'd always, genetics was my favorite course in undergrad as a biology course. So I figured, let's give it a try working in a genetics lab. And that's where things sort of started to fire off for me. And I figured that that was what I wanted to do, but just didn't know exactly how to pursue it. But it was a valuable research experience for me because it gave me crucial foundation for taking off my career pretty much. Once I graduated from my master's level degree, I then got a job in a molecular diagnostic lab called Baylor Genetics Diagnostic Lab. I worked there for about a year and a half, which was a great experience. I thoroughly enjoyed it. However, I realized like lab work was just repetitive. I could go to work, do the same thing, run some tests, set up PCR, get results for patients. It was cool, but it was just repetitive and it just felt like it didn't challenge me. I also worked part-time as a waitress and a bartender just to get a little fun out of life and earn some extra money, which ironically was probably the two biggest pillars for me interviewing for my current position at Illumina. So I joined Illumina in 2017. Illumina is a DNA sequencing company, if you all didn't know. But I joined the team with not having any prior sequencing experience. So I want to reiterate to any students and also any teachers on the call that having your foundation is extremely important, because had I not had a good foundation in those base level biology courses, anatomy, physiology, genetics, there is no way I would have been able to successfully been hired at this company and also thrive in the role that I'm currently in. So Illumina, our goal is to unlock the power of the human genome, and some of those pillars of power that we can get from genomics can range from oncology, genetic disease, NIPT, population genomics, and then as you recently noticed, COVID-19 surveillance is huge. So I've actually gotten a chance to work with a lot of labs that are doing COVID-19 surveillance in the most odd sort of sample sizes that we would even think of. I have customers who do COVID surveillance in wastewater samples just to see what is the level of viral sequence that we're finding in a population's wastewater. Like, who thought that we should look into wastewater? So we cover a broad range of unlocking the power of the human genome, as you would see. So at the moment, the company is global. It's globally located. It's been around for a while. We have about more than 7,000 people that work at Illumina. The current CEO is Francis D'Souza. The headquarters is located in San Diego, California. Oh, there it is. It was founded in 1998, but it went public a little bit later than that. So here's some of the countries and places that we operate. The Americas is sort of one main region. Then we have EMEA, which Eastern, Middle Europe. I don't remember what it stands for. And then we also have APA, which is Asia Pacific. And so this is just a slide to just show you where all the possibilities are endless in terms of where can you work in the world for Illumina. So as I stated, our mission is unlocking the power of the human genome to improve human health. And when I'd like to share when I first looked at Illumina's mission statement, when I first even was interested in what the company did, just seeing this mission statement really spoke to me. And I even said it in my interview and I said it may sound corny, but that seems remarkable to me. Our genome is like the blueprint. Our unique sequence is the thing that tells us exactly how each individual will work, what flaws we may have, or I would say quote unquote flaws, and how we work as an individual. So figuring out what makes us tick and how we could possibly make edits or make any sort of corrections seemed just remarkable to me. It just seemed the baseline for personalized health plans for each of us. So our why. Genomics will change everything from how we diagnose and treat cancer to feeding the world's population. By partnering with educators, we can inspire the next generation of scientists, engineers, and innovators. So we are extremely passionate about making sure that the next generation of scientists know our goal, know our mission, and we could bring in those that will help fuel our mission and help us get to our goal of unlocking the power of the human genome. So we have a few STEM programs that we partner with, like such as this. I actually have a link that I need to share with you, Kim, so that you can send out to all the attendees. But we definitely have a number of opportunities for you in the California area to either come on site. We have Skype a Scientist initiatives. We also have local FASs or field application scientists and engineers that will happily volunteer to come on site into your individual classrooms, do experiments, talk about career opportunities, talk about our career paths and such. And then finally, I have here a list of our upcoming events. Our Festival of Science and Engineers next year, March. And then DNA Day, we celebrate it big every year, is April 25th. We look forward to collaborating with you. I realized Kim sort of mentioned in the beginning why she's sharing my slides for me. So as a field application scientist, I actually get to go to my customers. So I work remotely, so does everybody else that in my same role. And we get to travel to our customers in order to train them on how to use our equipment, train them on how to use our applications. We're usually the boots on the ground to help troubleshoot and resolve any issues that they may be having in their labs. So I was out traveling today, and travel can sometimes throw a loophole. And so you have to be willing to roll with the punches. So here I am in my truck talking to you guys and just happy to be here.
Let's get to some questions. can you speak to, like, I think this is something that's really interesting with STEM careers is transferable skills, right? I actually genuinely know through and through that I am much better at my job because I have a degree in biochemistry, even though it's an education. So how do you see your experiences and educational backgrounds really shaping your current work?
As far as my educational background, having an undergrad and master's level degree in biology definitely built a great foundation for me as far as being able to be good at my job, because I'm responsible for training customers on how to do DNA sequencing. So sometimes it requires a level of going back to, okay, exactly what is DNA? What are we looking at? What is a mutation? What's a variant? So sometimes I have to take things back all the way to like molecular biology level in some of my customer trainings, or even some basic chemistry. At times we use reagents that such as sodium hydroxide that's hydrophilic, and then I have to explain like hydrophilic will absorb moisture from there. So it's like it's the little things that count in terms of being able to transfer information for something that's so complex such as DNA sequencing. The second thing that I found really interesting about my background was that working as a waitress and bartender, it gave me a set of skills that I didn't even think would be important in life, and it's just people management. That's the best way I can put it, because there are times when I'm in a lab and I have a PI who needs to have results done, and then I'm also working with a lab tech they're just on a bench. And not to say that one person is more important than the other, but sometimes the personalities are quite different. So you have one person who may be sort of screaming at you, and then one person who's just willing to work with you. And in those settings, I find that having certain difficult customers in the restaurant setting definitely helped me prepare for having like some tense conversations and help to manage people in certain situations.
That's a great answer. So I will end with my favorite question for panelists, which is, if you had one piece of advice to give to students, or two's fine too, about sort of embarking on some sort of STEM career pathway, what would it be?
Just be willing to sort of roll with the punches. Like when I went to school, I wanted to be a forensic pathologist until I realized I had to go to medical school, and I was like, nah, that is not for me. Thought I wanted to be a pharmacist, and I couldn't get into pharmacy school because I couldn't pass. I think calculus 2. I took the class twice and failed both times. I even had a tutor. I was devastated, but somehow I'm still making it. So yeah, I'll just say, just roll with the punches. Sometimes failures can teach you a lot about yourself. Like to this day, I couldn't tell you anything about calculus, but I love what I do.